Ladies and gents, we are back with another Nottingham Forest match preview, the first one of the brand new Premier League season, and we are kicking things off with a doozy, because let me talk to you about Sheffield United. The Blades are our opponents for our first home Premier League game of the season, and I want to spend some time talking about the recently promoted side and preview our encounter. In these match previews, we'll spend some time discussing Forest, talking about our most recent Premier League outing, talking about injuries, transfers, all that good stuff. We'll then provide some background on our opponents, discussing their Premier League season up to date. Our next protocol will be the stats, detailing both on a team level and an individual personnel basis, including some of the key players for us to watch out for. And then of course I'll give you my scoreline predictions for the match. So if you do enjoy this kind of match preview stuff, don't forget to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you can stay up to date with them over the course of the Premier League season, and of course stay up to date with the Premier League scout reports for Nottingham Forest. So with that being said, let's start our report on Sheffield United. Of course, in our previous outing, our opening game of the Premier League season, we fell to a 2-1 defeat away at Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium, with the Gunners looking poised to make yet another challenge for that Premier League title this season. With that being said though, I think Forest came away having given a spirited performance, particularly during that final 10-minute stretch, with us keeping our shape very well, defensively sitting back in a 5-4-1 shape, nice and compact, and offensively looking to break forward in a 3-4-2-1 when we got the opportunity to. I also think it's worth noting that the new boys looked really good in the squad. Aina and Turner from the start made really solid debuts for Forest, and Elanga came off the bench to look particularly dangerous, setting up Taiwo Awoniyi for his first Premier League goal of the season and looking electric on the counter-attack. Moreover, with no new injuries and Awoniyi and Niakate coming back to full match fitness, Forest look well positioned to put our really strong side in the Premier League in our next match against Sheffield United. Sheffield United, on the other hand, were pretty comfortably dispatched on their opening match of the Premier League season. The scoreline may have just been 1-0, but they managed to ship 24 shots against their opponents, Crystal Palace, to just 8 generated by the Blades, whilst only managing 1 shot on target compared to 8 from the Eagles, whilst the 2.3 expected goals against for Sheffield United was the 5th highest tally against in the opening weekend of the Premier League season. And heading into the new Premier League season, Sheffield United have arguably lost their 2 best players. Iliman Ndiaye has departed for Marseille in France and was a key player in that promotion side, contributing to over a third of Sheffield United's goals over the course of their promotion campaign, whilst also ranking 2nd in their squad for shots and chances created. And then you have the big Norwegian himself, Sander Berge, who himself notched 11 goal contributions over the course of the season, whilst also being in the top 35% of Championship midfielders last season for progressive and final third passes, and in the top 10% of Championship midfielders for progressive carries and carries into the final third. It is, however, unsurprising that Sheffield United have struggled upon their return to the Premier League, with deals for under-pitch heating for their training facility and analysis and scouting software having gone unpaid during periods of last season, as well as 12 first-team players out of contract at the end of their promotion campaign, with 3 of the 10 most used players in that promotion side being out of contract at the end of last season. And if you combine that with a side that remains reasonably intact from their pitiful relegation a few seasons back, and an owner who's looking to sell a controlling stake in the club, it could be argued that Sheffield United, amongst the Premier League teams this season, have the biggest mountain to climb to avoid relegation. However, it isn't all doom and gloom. Sheffield United do genuinely have some very talented players in their roster, including, in my opinion, their most prized asset, defender Arnel Ahmedhodzic. And Ahmedhodzic might actually be a familiar name amongst Forest fans. He spent 3 years with the club between 2016 and 2019, making a solitary championship appearance against Newcastle United in 2016. And the Bosnian international was fantastic for Sheffield United last season. Upon signing, he slotted very comfortably into the right-hand side of their back 3, completing around 4 tackles and interceptions per 90 minutes, placing him in the top 5% of Championship centre-backs last season, whilst also showing he was very comfortable bringing the ball out from the back, being in the top 5% of Championship defenders for progressive carries and carries into the final third. A small worry for the defender though is his lack of ability in the air, only completing around 56% of his aerial duels, which ranks him in the bottom 30% of Championship centre-backs last season. And this could be a great opportunity late in the match as things get a bit leggy to bring someone like Chris Wood in, who was fantastic in the air to challenge the centre-back deep in the match. We may also see the experienced Northern Irish international Ollie Norwood commanding the midfield. He was fantastic for Sheffield United last season, batting around 5 tackles and interceptions per 90 minutes, whilst also being the passing hub for this team, creating the 6th most chances, the 4th most passes into the penalty area, and being second for passes into the final third and progressive passes across the championship season amongst all championship players. Suffice to say, the Northern Irishman will be key to build up for the Sheffield United side, being a deep creative hub for this team, and it'll be important for us to put someone like Danilo on him, who's got the energy to cover the ground and prevent him from 1, getting the ball, and 2, getting the opportunity to spread the play and create chances for his side. And I want to finish things up by discussing the dangers possessed by the Sheffield United side, starting off with the shape that they deploy in their matches. They've continued to use the 3 at the back shape that we really associate with them under Chris Wilder during their previous Premier League stint, and what this allows them to do is completely dominate the wide areas, overloading and isolating defenders in wide positions, whilst also allowing the team to fall back into a back 5 shape, making them defensively very solid. Moreover, Sheffield United were one of the best pressing sides in the Championship last season, ranking 3rd for passes per defensive action allowed, 2nd for high turnovers, and no side in the Championship last season scoring more goals from high turnovers last season. If we are looking to have periods of sustained possession, which Forest really struggle with, we're going to have to be safe and quick and decisive in possession and not allow the Sheffield United team to turn us over in high areas and get goal scoring opportunities. The final thing I want to talk about is how historically Sheffield United have been very potent from set pieces, dating back to our time in the Championship. And last year they scored 22 of their 77 league goals in the Championship from set pieces, with only Millwall scoring more. If we flip that over, Forest were very porous from set pieces, conceding 16 goals, the 2nd highest tally in the Premier League last season. So we'll definitely have our work cut out from us in the box defending set pieces. So in terms of the scoreline prediction, I'm expecting Nottingham Forest to come away with the win in this one. It's our first home Premier League game of the season against the side we have a very bitter recent history against in the form of Sheffield United. And despite how strong they were in the Championship, Sheffield United look a bit blunt in attack and look like they could be quite porous in their defence. And they're looking extremely thin on the ground, having lost some key personnel heading into the new Premier League season. In my opinion, this match is going to end in a 2-0 win for the Reds, with Taiwo getting his 2nd in 2 games in the Premier League this season, and maybe even Brennan Johnson opening his account in the Premier League during this match. Of course though, let me know your thoughts on the Sheffield United match in the comment section down below, and your scoreline predictions for our game against the Blades, our first home Premier League game of the season. And whilst you're down there, don't forget to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single Nottingham Forest match preview or the continuing scout reports until the end of the summer transfer window. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, Reds. Enjoy the game if you're going. I will catch you later.